Hi, I'm Tom Howard. My student number is S5114375. I'll be discussing the legal aspects to this assignment for the three countries that are outlined: Germany, United Kingdom, and France. So to begin with, I'll discuss Germany. They're a bicameral parliamentary legislative system. So essentially they're made up of two parties, the Bundestag party and the Bundesrat party. Now it's significantly dominated by the Bundestag party at 631 total seats being held, compared to the Bundesrat party of 69 seats. Currently, the president of Germany is Frank-Walter Steinmeier. He has self-elected a chancellor of Angela Merkel. Now, Germany does have quite a similar civil and criminal court system to Australia. It has four levels. It has a local court, the state court, the appeals court, and the federal supreme criminal and civil court. Now, where Australia and Germany do significantly hold similarity is through the specialised courts. Now, in Germany, they specialise predominantly in four courts: tax affairs, labour law, social security law, and administrative law. Australia does have similar courts. We do also have family violence courts, the drug courts, and the Indigenous courts here as well. Some differences between our two legal systems, however, the high courts in both countries can deal with cases relating to the constitutions. However, in Australia, it can only be done at the capital, compared to Germany, where constitutional matters in the High Court can be heard in all states. Germany and Australia do have very similar legal systems. However, they are very differently governed. The legal adherence in Germany for criminal matters are greatly more intense compared to Australia. For example, in Germany, simple drug offences can see a person sentenced from 1 to 2 years in prison, whereby in Australia, similar offences often see people simply being fined with very minimal prison time. Next is the United Kingdom. Again, a bicameral National Assembly made up of two houses, the House of Lords and the House of Commons. Their current monarch is Queen Elizabeth II, who has been in that position since 1952. However, day-to-day operations are all generally overseen by the Prime Minister, which is Boris Johnson, whom Australia's Prime Minister would work closely with in respect to any international matters. Now, they themselves also do have a very similar civil court system to Australia. The Supreme Court, they have the Court of Appeal, High Court, and tribunals and the family division. Now, as mentioned, we are very similar in legal systems. We're both governed by prime ministers and have very similar civil court procedures. Australian law still shares many legal principles and doctrines with England, whom still practice common law to this day. We're so similar, in fact, in legal systems that it's often referred to by scholars that Australian law is simply a derivative of English law, as in the history of the Australian legal system, the words legal history simply meant English legal history. Lastly is France. Now, they differ quite significantly to the previous two I've mentioned. They have a quasi-presidential system, simply meaning every 5 years a new president is elected, and then the Prime Minister from there goes and selects the parliamentary majority. Now, the Parliament is made up of the National Assembly and the Senate. They have a dual system to their legislation in French law, and it does consist of public law and private law. And along with this, as seen here below in the hierarchy of laws, which is actually listed from greatest to least importance of law. Now, Australia and France do have great differences between the two. Many have argued that the main reason for this difference was the disruption caused by the French Revolution and the political and ideological principles that pervade French law and governance as a result. In Australia, the legal system, which in contrast has had a gradual evolution and change due to the increased economic stability brought on by the development of the Industrial Revolution.